Hi and welcome to Proper Food. I'm Dean Edwards and I know you're going to want the recipe for this baked camembert with a garlic Herefordshire loaf. Now it's time to make our amazing garlic and sun-blushed tomato butter. So I've got a clove of garlic here. I'm going to use my knife and just to crush that down onto the board. So I'm just going to use the knife just to roughly chop, and then I'm going to take a really nice sprinkling of sea salt and then just use the knife to work that garlic into a paste. The sea salt is actually going to work as an abrasive to help you break that down, because we don't want any big bits of garlic. So now we're going to pop this into about 100 grams of butter, and then we need some herbs. So here I've got a beautiful bunch of flat leaf parsley. So I'm going to take that, I'm going to run my knife through it. Just use your knife and rock it back and forth, because we want to chop this up really nice and fine. Next up, I've got some fresh rosemary. So just a couple of sprigs. I'm going to take the centre stalks out, so we're just left with these beautiful little sprigs of rosemary. These are nice and soft. And then these are going to get chopped down as well. So once the rosemary has been chopped through, I'm going to just pop that to one side. And now I'm going to show you this. I've got these beautiful sun-blushed tomatoes. These are so packed full of flavour. One of my favourite ingredients, but I'm going to chop these up really nice and fine too, along with the herbs. So all of these ingredients now need to go into our bowl with the butter. So we get the tomatoes in there, we get the herbs, and then it's time for a good old mix. So just use a spoon just to make sure that's beautifully combined. Look how good that looks. Incredible. So packed full of flavour. Okay, so pop that to one side, and now we're on to our bread. So I've got myself here a lovely big crusty loaf. Now what we're going to do is we're going to actually house our camembert cheese in the loaf. That's right, I said it, in the loaf. So what you need to do is take the top of the lid of the cheese, and we're going to cut around the lid. So take your knife and just follow that shape. And then once you're done, remove that, and we are just going to pull out that central part. What you need to do is either press down the bread or remove a little bit, but make sure that the cheese fits in to the loaf. That is like I've done it before. Now just take the cheese out, pop it to one side, and I'm going to use my knife and I'm going to cut into this loaf in a diagonal motion. Now this is going to give us our element for the tear and share part. And then go back the other way. Probably help if I had a bread knife, to be honest. And then what we're going to do is just spread our butter into those gaps. We're making a huge tear and share garlic loaf. So just take a little bit of time, get your knife in there, and just make sure you get serious amounts of that garlic butter in between. Now once you've done that, I'm going to take my cheese and I'm just going to take that top layer off. So just try not to waste any, just take that little bit off, and then we are ready to pop that in the oven. So I'm going to get it in there, 180 gas mark 4, and I reckon it's going to take around 14 to 15 minutes. Basically just until that cheese is just stupidly gooey. The bread was just browning a little bit too much for my liking, so I've just taken it from the oven and wrapped it in a little bit of foil, and I'm going to pop it back in for about another 5 minutes, just until that cheese is melted. Right, I'm going to let you into a little secret. I actually had to put it back in the oven for around another 10 minutes. And I think the problem was I took the cheese straight from the fridge, so obviously it's going to take longer to warm through and go really nice and gooey. So if you need that, just stick a little bit of foil on it, back in the oven until the cheese melts. But now, it's all about the money shot. So check this out. I'm going to take a bit of this bread, just rip it off. Wow. Trust me when I tell you this, you need to make this recipe. I cannot stop eating this. If you want the recipe, it's down in the description. And while you're at it, make sure you hit that subscribe button and also leave me a comment, because I want to know what sort of recipes you'd like to see me cook in the future. And while you're at it, make sure you hit that like button as well, so it tells all of your friends that you like this video. Now, I'm off to absolutely smash this in, so I will see you next week for some more proper food.